There we are. And
Right.
it is, of course.
So here I am.
2019.
Here we are, Yankee T News with common sense news and entertainment. We are about to dig in, baby. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
digging. I got my shovel.
All right. So let's see what to say about the primaries. Actually, I'm going to focus on the stupidest part first. Okay. Well, my preamble to this is they'll tell you if in a political conflict the opposition starts shooting you at a lot, that means you're over the target, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in this case, if you have the opposition engaging in all sorts of weird behavior and they're holding on to doing things that are obviously wrong, I think you can conclude that they have run out of options. Okay? The Republicans in Georgia stink to high heaven.
Yeah.
And leading the pack is the Secretary of State, a guy named Raffensperger. Okay? So what happens?
Is he a rhino?
What?
Essentially, he's a rhino.
I think worse than that. I think he's an outright traitor. It's just a matter of time. His behavior, there's in no way can his behavior be confused with what it means to be a Republican. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's the one that should make us all scratch our heads. In the main Capitol building in Atlanta. Atlanta's the capital, right?
It is.
Okay. There is a bunker for emergency use. Some kind of storm or something else.
Okay.
Mr. Raffensperger commandeered this bunker in order to do vote counts with nobody watching him.
Wow.
That is flagrantly against the law, but he went ahead and did it anyway. Yes. All right. Okay. So you had other Republicans who said, what the hell are you doing? We expect to be in there watching what's going on. So they had to go before a judge who told Raffensperger, you damn well better obey the law.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you insist on doing in this bunker, go ahead, but you're going to have to allow these other people in. And so ultimately he did. But he was planning on getting away with this.
Yeah.
All right. So there have been all kinds of weird things going on in Georgia in terms of elections for the longest time.
Right.
I think they have they do have a primary or two going on, and I think people are accusing them of committing fraud now, even though I believe it's for governor, since Governor Kemp is termed out. You have 3 Republicans vying for the Republican spot. And of the 3...
Just like we had here originally.
What?
Just kind of like we had here originally.
Yeah. Well, they happen. You have primaries. You have competition. It happens all the time. So in any event, Raffensperger is running third. So there's a guy named Rick Scott, then there's another one, I can't think of his name, 38 and 33% respectively in terms of the vote. And then you're left with Raffensperger, who has about 15% of the vote.
Okay.
So he's, people are looking at him like, why am I voting for you? So so you got party loyalists making up the 15%. But guys, this is really stupid. All right. So anyway, so that's the highlight for the day. Republican hiding out in bunker to count votes in secret. Quite a headline. Not the kind of headline I like to see, but it's the accurate headline. All right. Anyway, so
what's going on in the other states with the primaries? Kentucky, one of them.
Well, we have President.
Are we seeing a revolution here with the MAGA people kind of knocking out some of the rhinos here? Or
I think that's what we're seeing. It's I think some results are still coming in, but the sense is, especially since President Trump has really focused his efforts this time and endorsed people who really are on his side. I think we'll see some real positive results. Now, One of the things that confuses me, I don't know what to make of it. Let me see if I can find it again. I'm just looking at it. It involved Kentucky. It says here, Andy Barr wins in Kentucky race to replace Mitch McConnell. Now,
Wow.
Mitch McConnell belongs in a psychiatric facility. I mean,
Yeah, he's like a bizarre version of Biden.
yes, he is, and so
We're openly admitting it. We're not hiding it.
Trump has backed this guy Andy Barr, but I'm not convinced that Andy Barr is really the best choice. I may be confusing him with somebody else.
Okay. Barr was the Trump endorsed candidate, or was nobody endorsed by Trump?
Well, no, Andy Barr is endorsed by Trump, so he's won the Republican primary involving replacing Senator McConnell. Okay. All right. So I guess I'm waiting for more. It says here that this guy is he? Hold on. No. We need more information. All right. So, but I'm just announcing that's in the news. Okay, and it counts for something. So we got that. We got Massey. Not quite sure. I mean, I think what's happening in darn it, what's happening in Georgia will be in our favor. And then the other question is, see, let me just check this. When is the Texas primary for Attorney General? That should be soon, if not, let's see here. It's the election. Oh, May 26th. Okay, so the primary will be May 26th. And so today, Trump endorsed, we were all expecting it, Paxton, I forget his first name. And so it was Paxton versus Cornyn. And Cornyn has been this big phony.
Oh, yes, right.
And so thank God, it looks
Paxton voted to convict Trump during these fake impeachment hearings.
No, not Paxton. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the guy from Louisiana.
Race.
No, I'm thinking of the guy from Louisiana.
Right. Okay. So no, Paxton. I think we can call Paxton a good guy, someone who we're supposed to be able to rely on.
The guys we're counting on to clean up the rest of the party.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, you know what? If we're talking about cleaning up, here we've got new talk. I never quite know how to react to this stuff because we don't really know how the Senate functions. But now we hear that yes, if the Republicans got together and decided to, quote, throw out Thune, they could. Well,
they should.
Yeah, they should. Hurry up. But apparently there are still too many rhinos in the U.S. Senate among the Republicans.
Hopefully after November. I have a feeling with it. I saw a headline yesterday that Trump is sending an army of attorneys all over the country to make sure there's election fraud does not happen. And with all the deportations, they're going, maybe we'll see some election results that are surprisingly good.
It's going to be full court press. No question about it.
I still look at it as the last chance to do it without civil war.
But so here's the problem for us here in Connecticut. If we expect anything approaching election integrity, we're going to have to repeat what was done by Scott Pressler and the late Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Ballot chasing, not ballot harvesting, ballot chasing. Okay. We're going to have to be all over it with the so-called absentee ballots because newsflash, today is the day that Lamont signed into law the bill that allows what's called no excuse absentee ballots.
Yeah, you can just do it absentee. You don't have to have a reason, right?
There's no difference between a mail-in ballot and a no excuse absentee ballot.
Right.
Okay, it's just labels. They're the same. They're effectively
changing the name and going around it.
Okay, so the capacity for abuse exists.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm going to have to go back and review the rules and other things.
Was there some kind of legal action that can be taken to stop them from accepting no excuse mail-in ballot? I mean, that's
again, it's about resources. Where do we have the lawyers? Where do we have the money? Okay.
I was given the name of another lawyer today.
Yeah.
Ryan Blake gave me the name of another lawyer today. We'll talk about later.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that Will the Supreme Court take this up as an emergency thing? The problem is that this issue concerning absentee ballots would probably be considered a states' rights issue, which would throw it into the state Supreme Court, which leads to bupkis.
Zero, right?
So So my answer
is,
has
the right to set up cheating on elections.
Sorry.
So the states have a right to set up cheating on elections?
Well, of course, they don't see it that way, but it is.
Yeah.
So it's not a question of the state. Okay, look, the Democrats have been there before. They have done this in so many different ways.
Yeah, they're pros at cheating.
All right. I just want to remind you, it's a woman named Wanda. Not only the one that was named Wanda, but the one in Waterbury, whose name escapes me. I think she might have been caught on a similar basis. I would have to go back and check. But no, these people are used to playing games. Let me just bring up, for example, the registrar in Fairfield, Connecticut. Okay, this young guy who was acting suspiciously in the office, and they found out that what he was doing was systematically eliminating signatures associated with absentee ballots. So in other words, absentee ballots would come in, and he was making sure that there would be no way to do any kind of signature verification. Okay? I call that breaking the law.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he got caught doing it, so I don't know what his status is at this point. He's probably still in the office. Maybe he got a slap on the wrist. Who knows?
Yeah, they're probably there to do it again.
Okay, so it should be obvious that we're stuck with a lot of problems that have not been solved. And my reaction is still the same. We are going to be stuck with getting out on the street, figuring out the ways in which we can get ahead of these things. You and I have talked about, we're going to have to do this with holding events that are for voter registration, all right? And there's a right way to do it. I can tell you about the wrong way to do it, because I did that.
You got to fight it on two fronts, but what's the wrong way to do it?
The wrong way to do it is to take a bunch of voter registration forms, walk the streets, and ask people if they're registered voters.
That doesn't work. But how do you get people registered to vote? You got to go door to door?
Because you're going to find, it was just walking. I mean, going through a park, going through a parking lot. Me and this guy, Dave,
going door to door is better than public.
The real answer is you have to get a list of the people who live in the city, and you need to know which ones are not registered voters. You have to go knock on those doors. All right. Okay. That's how it should be done. And that is what we have not done, but it's what we need to do. Okay.
I agree. But that's something we need volunteers to help us with, or people to help us with.
Right. Well,
you and I can't knock on every door.
No. But so can we build up a volunteer base willing to do this? Yes, I think we can.
I think we can.
All right. So let me give you an example. I think she's a good example. So I told you about Faith Goklowski, right?
Yes.
Goklowski. Go here. See, I'll double check her name.
Selena we brought her aboard.
Yes, well, Selena has actually had her on one of her shows.
She's become a huge thing. Yeah, she's become awesome. She has her own following.
Yeah, how awesome?
Awesome with a capital A, baby.
Okay, a couple thousand?
I think so, yeah. Between Rumble and the different sites, yeah.
Okay. How am I going to put
now
this?
She's a delegate. She's actually a delegate now, too. So.
Well, let's just face it, Selena. Some people have sex appeal, and some people don't.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm suggesting that she has sex appeal, and
we don't.
We don't. That's right.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes.
No, she's terrific. We love her. She's, of course, my co-host on Connecticut Common Sense Tuesdays and Thursdays. So
yeah. So I'm trying
to she's a delegate, so she had a vote for governor. She voted for Betsy. But I have to get in touch with her. We want to have her on and talk about the Constitution. That's what I want to do with Betsy.
Yeah. All right. So So I don't know why I can't find her here. She's got to be around somewhere. Darn it.
We have to change the balance of power in Congress. I mean, to not just between Republicans and Democrats, but between genuine representatives of the people and those that aren't. That's really the difference. That's really what it comes down to.
All right.
John Thune is not a representative of the people.
All right. Well, I'm going to go down a slightly different path here. Okay. You made a big deal out of about a month ago the fact that there were something like 40 state representative spots for which there are no Republican candidates.
Yeah, we're making a deal of that for a lot longer than since last summer.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, the issue of when you have candidates normally do not declare. All right. They could declare early, but the heat doesn't start until June.
Are you saying that? Do we know? Is there a way of telling now who's declared and who hasn't? Like out of the 115 districts, what has an opponent, what doesn't?
We would have to trust that the Connecticut GOP would give us the correct information,
which we can't. So we'd have to do it ourselves.
Well, good luck with that.
Well, you go through each district. Done it before.
You've contacted all.
When I created the profile, when I created the profiles that I have.
Okay, but
I want to research
how many people did you talk to?
In each town where each district
were. How many people did you talk to?
No, I didn't talk to anybody.
Okay, so then how would you find out without talking to people? Okay, all right. Well, you know the answer. So that what we're left with is it takes a long time to contact because people don't pick up the phone immediately and give you an answer.
If you have here's this where volunteer work is so important. I think there's a lot of people that want to volunteer and help us fix Connecticut, but don't want to be in the spotlight. They want to do it from the comfort of their home. They don't want to be on social media, and that's like clerical work, like things like this. You could have somebody, if they were a volunteer that had the time, to go on the web and just research each district, and you can find out what's going on most of them. You might have to make a few phone calls alongside, especially anybody who is running. We could rule that in, right? Because
let me go
find
back.
something on the web about that.
Yeah,
the towns that we don't have anything on, or the districts we don't have anything on, would be the ones that we would have to follow up on.
Let me go back to Faith Kuklowski. Okay, Secretary of the Waterbury Republican Town Committee. Okay, so she's part of the Republican group in Waterbury. And she's running for office.
Yes.
So I haven't really asked her the question, how many people you got supporting you and helping you out yet. But if anybody should be in a position, she should. All right.
But if we were to go on the web and type her up and then type the name of the district up, something would pop up, right?
Website up yet. The thing is that I think she's an example of someone who, is in the very early stages. So very early. So this is what it comes down to. I have to ask her the question, but I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be no. Faith, if you cannot raise enough money and you cannot get enough volunteers to help you, are you going to quit? And I think she's the kind of person who's going to say no. And unfortunately, she's going to be like a lot of Republican candidates who have a treasurer and maybe a couple other people helping them out. They've got a few $1,000s, and that's it. And somehow they're going to make a campaign out of that going forward. Okay, so that's where I think she may find herself. But the point I'm trying to make is that
that's where if we had the new
worst case, I think she's doing better than that. All right,
well, that's good in that case. But so your operation, what you call Operation Red Hawk, or a chapter of Operation Red Hawk, what I call the New Sons of Liberty, are kind of the same thing. If we had that coalition of people that are passionate about what we're doing, that feel like that would fit right in with our clique in each town, just 2 or 3. And then those people could help a candidate, and make a big deal out of it, and make a real fundraising campaign in that town.
Okay.
That's what we need. We need that infrastructure.
Okay, they don't happen by magic. When one of the first things is when people decide they're going to do something, they need to have communication. They need guidance. They need to know that they're on track. They need somebody to talk to when things aren't going right. Okay, all those things have to be in place if we're going to make this work.
And that's why the profiles that I created on the Google account would work so well, because that was where those profiles would identify who really just one point of contact in each town that would either be running for themselves, or they would bring someone else to run. So probably 2-3 people each town, and they would be on those profiles. So you could
understand what I just said. You're talking about one person, and that's good enough. I'm trying to tell you, one is not good enough.
No, 2 to 3 is really what you need to create the that 2 or 3 dedicated, one dedicated, 2 or 3 to help him or she to create that force within the town, like we're doing, like we're trying to do around the state, but it would be within that town instead.
Okay. In addition, once we build up the numbers, there have to be meetings. We should have events, have some music.
Yes.
Have a barbecue, make it fun. Yes. Okay.
And so maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse. Let's have one of our biggest events, and then at that event we can pick up points of contact. But it has to be under the premise of, yeah, we're having fun and it's music, but it's the the homeschooling fight, or it's the the election fraud exposure concert or something, to get people that are like-minded in. And then within those events, we have a little tent or a stand where people come forward, and we have some pamphlets, and we show them some of the issues that we're worried about, and that's where people come forward.
Okay, right now, you have a number of people who have asked to. We've contacted who we know are potentially contributors and volunteers, but who have not been, quote, brought into the fold, right? And part of it is that you have a number of people who are out doing, quote, their own thing, all right? So to me, us maintaining voter integrity or election integrity is extremely vital. Linda Sinkowitz, Linda Alessi, and the others, they're going to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can we turn to them and say, well, if you could name a couple people so that we can, follow up on election integrity in given towns, let's get those names and let's get everybody together.
Yes.
And have there needs to be a schedule. There has to be a calendar that we can work by, because the thing is that the battleground is going to shift as the summer moves along here. Okay. And we're going to be shifting from simply reaching out to people and contacting people to having to focus more and more on, quote, getting out the vote. It's going to go from, sort of where we're being creative and doing unique things to having to more and more bear down on the standard formulaic approach. And the part that's going to be really big, and I don't have an answer for this yet, is going to be dealing with the infamous, then soon to be infamous, no excuse absentee ballots.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole game around absentee ballots, right? And we have to know how to play it. And we have to figure out how to get in front of this quicker than the Democrats do, if we're going to have any kind of impact. Just saying. Anyway, so I think we got that pretty much. Let's talk now for a few minutes more about, that's right, here we go again. Sorry, folks. Iran. Yes, Iran.
I ran from Iran, but now they've caught me.
All right. So I'm going to start with what I think is a big point. For the big picture, there's a big point. And that big point is, I'd like you to put yourself in Donald Trump's shoes for a minute. All right. He's got a front row seat to what is going on with respect to the, quote, military preparations. Mm-hmm. Now, as I've said before, every so often we hear this reports that there's an endless stream of C-17 cargo planes carrying all kinds of stuff into Europe and into, I guess this destinations would be Israel, Saudi Arabia, UAE, highly likely, but nobody's saying much about it, okay? And it's kind of like we're beginning to, we have this, there's a geopolitical strategy when you, in the long term,
our allies
build out these, you have a target and you put bases up in the north, bases up in the northwest, bases in the west, and they're surrounding the enemy, all right? And the expectation is that you'll be ready to use this, all right? Okay. So we don't quite have that set up right now. It's something somewhat, but not the way we'd like it to be. Nonetheless, men and material and equipment are flowing in to these places. Just saying this because President Trump, from where he sits and he's contemplating when to pull the trigger on this, can see, all right, the magnitude of what's going to be done to Iran. To put it another way, a lot of people are going to die.
Mm-hmm.
That weighs heavily on him. He does not look forward to this.
Even if they're mostly IRGC soldiers?
Well, there is no mostly. Okay, you don't know who you're going to hit. You try. I mean, we have precision munitions.
Yeah, we think we can get more. I think mostly
on a scale that we've never seen before, but you're still going to have collateral damage. Think of all the struggle there was when that girls' school was hit, even though it was on supposedly on IRGC military base, but it was the idea that here you've killed these poor little innocent girls. Shame on you, you monster.
Well, they're the monsters that put the little innocent girls up as human shields.
Okay, well, yeah, remember whose side the media is on, okay?
Yeah, of course.
So
at least the legacy media.
Right. So the media part aside, President Trump still has to sit there and deal with the fact that a lot of very bad things are going to happen when he gives the green light on all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this to me makes his hesitation and his constant going back and forth and people accusing him of taco very sensible, And that said, there's going to come a point, though, where it really is at the end of the line, and they really do have to go. So which leads to my next observation.
The longer we wait, the worse it gets, I think.
Well, the longer it takes, I have another one for you. The longer it takes, the nuttier the Ayatollahs get.
Well, that's true.
Yes. Well,
don't you think that Trump don't we want to get just from I know that. Look, we all know that the popularity of the war is almost as important as the strategy of the war is. That's the way it works.
Well,
I mean, fundamentally, maybe not practically, but fundamentally.
Okay.
So doesn't he want to get? Don't we want to get this wrapped up before, the World Cup and the 4th of July celebration for 250th?
No, this is nutty talk. What you're saying is insane. Okay. A military program
I know that
operates on its own rules.
I know that.
Sit around worrying about soccer matches when you're dealing with a horrible, tyrannical regime.
I'm not personally worried about the soccer. I don't even like soccer myself. Okay, but what I'm saying, again, you and I are very principled people. We're all about the issues and what's important. But that is not how a lot of people are. A lot of people are just about image and their gas price, whatever's affecting them day to day. And I don't care what anybody says. If we're fighting this war and dealing with all this crap and $5 gallon gas during the summer, during this stuff, it's going to hurt politically.
It's worth. President Trump has made the point. He said, "Look, I appreciate how bad it is to have these high gas prices and diesel prices. I get it, but we know that when we finally fix the problem, that is the IRGC." Everything is going to go back to a much better.
And I'm with him on that, and I agree with him on that. And he should not make.
So stop worrying about the things of the moment.
He should not make.
He should be focusing on the objective.
I'm not suggesting that the president make decisions based on soccer matches. That's not what I'm saying.
You just did.
No, I didn't. What I said was.
Why did you bring up soccer matches then?
Because maybe not Donald Trump himself, but the political strategists around him, and the reality of it is, it's going to be a better thing if we have this thing settled in time for the summer. We can celebrate America as it's getting great again, rather than we're in the middle of a war. That's just a better image. It's a better situation.
All right,
it just is.
He's upset.
I'm not saying that we should act on that, and I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying that's what's Trump's. That's not Trump's priority. I get that.
All right, so I will give you the opportunity to rephrase your argument.
Okay, then.
Go ahead.
It's a better situation for the country to celebrate its 250th anniversary at peace and not at war.
All right. Let's go back to what we have in front of us. And that is a group of people who are pretty much ready to die for their cause. And they don't care who else gets hurt. They don't care what else gets destroyed. They don't care what's left behind after they're gone. Okay. Okay.
Which is why I don't understand.
Where does that leave us?
The talk about that's why the talk about a deal is, I hope, a ruse, because this will not end as long as they exist as a governing body.
Yeah, I think we can agree that it is a ruse.
I think so too.
All right, but it's a ruse that the Iranians are taking seriously as well. They make their outrageous demands, and then we roll our eyes, and then we make our counter demands, and on it goes. But
it's so catty.
All right.
It's catty.
All right. So let me just go back to the other point here, just to restate it. More oil will be spilling into the Persian Gulf. The situation is going to get worse. Iran would become more and more of a bad neighbor to the other countries. Okay. So all right, so I'll throw out another wild conjecture here. The thought is, go ahead. Let Iran keep pissing off their neighbors. At some point, they will decide finally that they're going to get up off their asses and they're going to fight. I'm talking to you, Saudi Arabia. Don't talk to UAE. I think they're ready to go. But yeah, Qatar, you guys, yep. You're going to have to deal with the fact that, yes, you've got this massive country that's larger than you, but they keep spitting on you. They keep harming you in various ways. You know, the other thing that gets me, you heard about how it was the nuclear power facility in UAE that was bombed?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, you heard about that.
What about today?
Okay, that's called crossing a line. That's called crossing a big red line.
Yeah. Well, where's the response? 2 or 3 more days away?
Well, there should be. Well, so far, there's been no response.
No, I know.
Okay, but you can be damn sure. All right, so I mean, with UAE kind of turn around and blame America because Iran attacked them. It's happened before. I don't know.
Which is why I don't know why. I think Trump needs to. I know Trump doesn't want to see people get hurt. I get that. I don't even know none of us do.
All right.
So if he just keeps putting this thing off because of his own moral dilemma, that's
right. Okay, so when critics are all over Trump for whatever it is, delaying, game playing, whatever it is they want to accuse him of, want to put them back in the seat of reality and look at what's in front of him. Okay, what are the conversations that he has with Pete Hegseth and General Kane? What are those conversations?
We'll never know.
Okay, about collateral damage. Those are the conversations.
That's what Hegseth's saying. He wants to take Iran out.
Okay, no. I think that Mr. Hegseth is as sensible as the others. You know, it's not exactly the luxury of time, but they're taking the time to be able to look at these things and have some sense of what's going to happen. And by the way, another thing I want to bitch about, all right? It's called the low munitions argument, right?
Yeah, I know. We've brought this up before.
All right.
That we're somehow how many ammunition left.
We have a research project in which to engage. We want to go back in time. I'll take World War II because we were pretty busy back then. But then again, we did drop a lot of bombs in Vietnam. All right. So my question is, for these conflicts that went on for quite some time, on a daily basis over a given period of time, how much in the way of munitions did we drop on the enemy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I predict that we're going to find that the number on a daily basis was probably pretty low.
A lot lower than what we did in Iran.
Think of the bombers that flew from England and Italy to go into Germany during World War II. That would have been maybe 50, 100 sorties a day. Okay.
You did, what, 13,000 within 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah. Big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so we shouldn't be surprised that we would have, quote, depleted the amount. I think it's possible that there was a mistake made in the original calculations. That, well, I think it's called the gold theory, Eric. He's talking about oil here. There was a Thomas Gold, who was a professor at Cornell, who was the original guy who said that oil is actually produced by the earth and not residue left over from the dinosaurs. And so, yes, Earth produces oil. It's a methane and hydrogen. Yeah, there's a whole thing there. Anyway.
Well, I would say, as long as we're talking about gas, and I've been saying all along that for people that are complaining about gas prices, hey, like Trump says, look, short-term pain, long-term gain, hang in there. But I have to say, I am getting a little tired of pulling out an extra $20 or $30 every time I fill my gas tank after 6 weeks. It's starting to drain the funds.
I would say you're in a special category there.
Yeah, and I drive 4 times more than the average person. So
right. So there you go.
It's costing me probably, I estimate, between $200 and $250 extra per month.
Well, I got a proposal.
Send a bill. The president. I'm still with it, but
okay. Send a bill to the Ayatollahs.
Yeah.
All right.
That's just they're spilling it into the sea now.
Yes, which is, yeah. I mean, to me, that's just that kind of thing, especially since, in my opinion, is really going to get worse, is just going to further push, excuse me, the UAE and others to take serious action. Now, it's going to be action that has to be coordinated with American forces, since we're so much bigger and more, I'm going to say it, well disposed. Okay. But this will be the interesting part. So, this raises an interesting question. Is this part of the reason why there's this delay?
Could be.
Trying to get everybody to man up in the other countries and get everybody together. There's a certain amount of training that's involved.
It very well could be.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's
coordinating with the Kurds or coordinating with some of these other countries, like the armies of the UAE that we hadn't heard about, whatnot.
And let's float out the other one to think about.
If we have to resort to resuming this war, but I think we're going to have to, let's make this one decisive, though. I don't want to see another ceasefire.
Yeah, well, I think that's a shared sentiment. All right. And part of it is, I mean, let me try this another way. You think of Pearl Harbor and how America was taken by surprise. I remember my mother telling me that it was not until about the middle of 1943, maybe, but there was a general fear in America that they could lose the war.
Well, we were losing the war in the initial 12 months or so, I think.
Correct.
After we got involved, and certainly before we got involved.
All right. So what were we doing? Learning, studying the situation, adapting in the ways that we could. I mean, it was, almost on the fly that we came up with the anti-submarine technology that we did. Right.
And we were ramping up our army, and Germany had already built theirs too in the initial phases.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, no, of course. So what was the other part with this? Oh God, let me think. Oh yes. So here's the other part that's a kick in the pants. You ready?
I'm ready for a kick in the pants.
Yes. So for England, so let's date it from 1936 to 1940. All right, in that time period.
Chamberlain.
You could see that Germany was building itself up and Britain was kind of behind the curve, so to speak. Hold on. There's a little drama associated with this, but it would have been at Oxford in some room where the students were sitting around talking about the war and asking each other what they thought was going to happen. These students at Oxford, were taking bets on whether Germany or England would win. Would you like to know what the odds were?
Probably 4-1 for Germany early on.
7-1.
Wow, even worse than that.
People in your own country.
Did you say 1940?
In your own country.
What year did you say for that? 1940?
Somewhere in that range, 36 to 40.
Okay, so people should know that in 1940, Germany had already overrun Belgium, France, pretty much all of Western Europe, and were bombing England at that time.
Okay.
London, downtown London, in English cities. So that would make sense that they would be 7-1 at that point.
Okay, well that's incredible pessimism. Okay, which in my mind is, if you're betting odds like that, you've already surrendered. Shame on you.
Thank goodness for the United States, huh? We talk about how we saved France. We saved England's butt too.
That's correct. It's correct.
We did.
Right. And here's the gratitude. What is it? 80 years later. That's pretty bad. So anyway, so I just had to get that off my chest. So I guess the sense is that this might be the week where the balloon goes up, so to speak. But I think the other part here to consider, I mean, even though it's pointing to the idea that the Gulf countries would work with America more closely, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say that the character of the next round of fighting will be completely different.
What I mean by completely different?
What?
More of a cooperation between more nations, you think?
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
It's going to be boots on the ground, baby.
I think special forces. I don't know about massive American troops on the ground.
Right. Well, boots on the ground can cover just special forces. But the point is that the center, if you will, for lack of a better term, the center of the fight will be on the ground. And so this is, where we've been talking all this time about, Mossad and this group, they call themselves the Immortal Guards.
Well, it kind of makes sense from a war strategy standpoint, doesn't it? If you take the fight to them in the ground, they're dealing with foreign troops on their own soil. It's going to give them less opportunity to think things through and launch their own attacks when they're trying to defend their own.
Right. Well, I can assure you, though, when it's a ground battle,
it's going to get ugly.
Yes, no rules apply. No rules apply. It's all going to be about how clever the Iranians, the IRGC can be versus how clever everybody else can be. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to remind you that the Iranians know that this is going to happen, so they're doing everything they can. Although, some people were kind of laughing at it. There was this clip from an Iranian TV show where this guy was demonstrating. There are several parts. One was a guy demonstrating the use of an AK-47, and it's like, and what was the suggestion? That the Iranian government has been distributing AK-47s to loyal citizens.
Well, if we have air superiority, though,
yes,
not just air superiority, but air exclusiveness, essentially.
It's called, there's superiority and dominance. Okay, so air dominance.
We have air dominance right now. He has both.
Air dominance, right.
And with given that, and remember we talked about a month ago about the strategy of taking a drop, using air power to secure, and a massive force to secure one medium-sized city or a smaller, and then use that as a safe zone. And then from there we do another one, then we do another one, and we start to take it apart little by little. And just that's the way. And we got to keep doing it. We got to do it all the way through, and not stop, really.
Okay. Well, behind that, very quickly, there needs to be a provisional government that we install. That's got to be there.
Yeah, very quickly after we take in territory. That's correct.
Yeah. So easier said than done. And we haven't heard much from Prince Pahlavi, have we? He's been kind of quiet after that. I want to call it fake. That what could have been an assassination attempt. Remember talking about that?
Mm.
He was walking the streets in Berlin, and some guy comes up from behind him and sprays him with some orange juice or orange paint or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I guess that was an act of protest, but instead of orange paint, it could have been a gun.
Yeah.
But so he was damn lucky, okay? Yeah, but it was an embarrassment to the security forces. So he had so-called security people behind him. The second a guy like that would have showed up from behind, they would have taken him down. But nope.
I attended an event, a Yukon parade in 2016 or 2014, I believe it was.
Yeah.
When Lamont was, Daniel Malloy was still governor.
Yeah.
And it was a praise, a rally, and they were getting ready. We were walking through the property, Melissa and I and the boys who were younger then, were walking through the Capitol property, just casually, a group of us. We were on a group of 8 or 10 people were kind of walking through to where the parade was.
Yeah.
And there was Daniel Malloy sitting in the back seat of a convertible in a line of cars getting ready to do the parade. And there was absolutely there were a couple of guys standing around, but there was
no security.
No security that I could see. And we all walked by. I was within 7 feet, 8 feet of the guy as we walked behind his car.
Well,
there were a couple people standing around him, but let me tell you right now,
if
I was that kind of person, I could right then and there.
But it didn't happen, did it?
No, it didn't happen because I would never do such a thing.
All right.
But I was surprised. I said to Melissa as we were walking away from it, I said, this dude was like, I could have ripped this dude's head off right there. I mean, there was no security at all. There were a couple people standing around, but they didn't look like they were really on high alert. Now, granted, this was a Yukon parade, so I don't think the tension level was very high that day.
Yeah, no. I think they made a calculated,
just the same.
Took a calculated risk, and they got lucky. For what it's worth. I mean, just to mention it, back in the day when there was a fight over tolls, I think it was. And there I was in Greenwich listening. There were these 2 Republicans who did a state tour. They went to 25 towns in the state to pitch their plan to replace the Democrat plan. And so their last stop was, ready? Greenwich.
Last stop now, too.
Now, who happens to live in Greenwich? That's right, Governor Lamont. Funny thing. Their last stop happens to be in his hometown.
Isn't that something?
Yes. All right. So what happens then is they're making their presentation, and who walks in? Governor Lamont. They're all surprised. Oh, Governor, how nice to see you. Why, it was such a pleasant surprise. Would you like to come up and say a few words? Oh, no, I'm fine. I'll just stand back here. And he had one state trooper with him. That was his security.
Wow.
Okay, in his hometown. It may be if he was in, I don't know, New Canaan, he might have needed more security.
Or Ashford.
Possibly. We're
not very popular, probably.
They make some calculated, they make some assessments, risk assessments there. So anyway. All right, so where do I want to go with this? Ride Fast and Die. I just need to mention it today. Out our way, we had a little problem. So about 4 o'clock, no, 3 o'clock. Yeah, so I had left a doctor's office and did some errands. And so where I am, you've got these two parallel state roads, Route 79 and Route 81. Okay, 79 and 81.
Yeah, 81 is 79 is the Madison Road, and 81 is the Clinton one.
Okay. Yeah. So I left Madison and I hit this road, Route 79, and it was clogged.
Really?
Absolutely.
Going northbound?
Sorry?
Going north away from the water?
Yep.
That's usually a pretty desolate road.
Yes, exactly. So this seemed odd. And when I finally got through that, then I got over to Route 81. Same problem.
Same incident or just another traffic jam?
Well, it's a traffic jam on each, two different traffic jams, one on each road.
Weird.
And well, it wasn't weird. Douglas will be able to explain it to you. There was a massive accident on Route 95.
Oh, people were trying to go around it.
And it just wasn't working. So
yeah, no, because there's no real way to get around it other than Route 1.
Can you imagine, though, people having to take detours on two state roads to get around?
They're trying to make their way up to Route 80 or whatever it is to go down the highway there. That was
didn't work. Okay.
No, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when you run into a catastrophic traffic jam, you're better off just waiting it out.
Yes, I agree.
Or what you do is, I'll tell you one thing. When we came home from Seattle, we drove across the country from Seattle.
Yeah.
And when we came home from our Alaskan cruise, and by the time we made it to the Connecticut state line coming out of New York, we were exhausted. We had 2 cars. We were absolutely exhausted. As soon as we get into Danbury on 84, there's this, and this is 8 or 9 o'clock at night, so it's not traffic heavy time. Must have been some kind of an accident. Thing was completely shut down. We were going 5-6 feet at a time.
Right.
We wanted to go home. So I said, I know what to do.
Yeah.
Now we're in Danbury. We're trying to make it all the way past Hartford into Coventry, right? Long ways away. What do you do in a situation to get around that? You either wait it out, or you try to go around it on back roads, which never works, or there's a third option.
Yes.
Especially if you just drove across the entire country and you're willing to go a little out of your way.
Yes.
You basically leave the scene completely, go in a completely different direction. We took this Route 25, went all the way down to the water almost.
Yes.
Just like we didn't even want to go home anymore. Like we're going another way.
Yes.
Drove about 30 miles down, then looped around. So you got to go like 30, 20, 25 or more miles away from the whole scene.
That's crazy.
In a lateral, in a flank direction from where your destination is. So if you're going straight, you want to go left or right, 25, 30 miles, then find a route, then go. Now it's going to cost you an extra half an hour, but you're going to avoid the traffic and you're going to get home at a decent speed. That's what we did. We had it right down to, I think it was Fairfield or something, and then we took the Merritt.
Yeah.
And everybody was thankful because those people were sitting in that traffic jam that night for 2.5, 3 hours. So, so you completely depart the area. Just open your mind and just, I'm going the other way.
Open your mind, yes.
Just flank it. You flank it, right? The flank is always the victory in warfare, and the flank works in traffic jams too.
Okay, well, I'm waiting for the 4th option.
Oh, well, that would be the Michael Douglas option, right?
No, that would be the fly out of there option.
A car that can fly. Yes.
Buy a motorcycle. Oh, so yes. So you said that. The reason for this accident, as it turns out, was two motorcycle riders sort of competing with each other while they're driving.
No.
Things did not work out very well.
No. One of them was probably a goner, most likely.
Yeah, well, yes, one of them died. That's correct. And they had to bring a helicopter in to take one of them.
When I was about 10 years old, I was at my father's for the weekend. I was a weekend warrior with my father, and somebody, it was a redneck neighborhood up in East Hartland where I used to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And we all had a bunch of friends, good friends, and someone handed me a dirt bike. I think I was 10 or 11, and they handed me a dirt bike and said, "Hey, Ron, want to my dirt bike?" I said, "Yeah." No, yeah. Right across the front yard, I went no more than 50 yards, right into a bush.
All right, good start.
A huge raspberry, and luckily I didn't die, and I haven't been on a motorcycle since.
I see.
Not my thing.
Oh, really? Okay. Not my thing. It can be fun, but anyway, not then. All right.
Maybe when I retire and I live on a little tropical island somewhere, I'll buy a little one and I'll ride around 25, 30 miles an hour on it. I can see that.
Yeah. So anyway,
you weren't going to see me when I'm on the highway and I see someone go zipping by me on a motorcycle at 90 miles an hour, whatever they do. That's crazy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, so the few minutes that we have remaining, we obviously need to talk about sports and the Red Sox.
Oh yeah. Before we get to that,
yes,
I just want to say something about what happened with Ben, because that's getting a lot of people are talking about it.
What, this thing with the RNC?
The thing with Ben grabbing my phone and all that.
Oh, really? That's getting traction?
Oh, it's been I had over 2,100 views on it on mine, and it's been reposted like more. I think the most reposts I've ever had before was like 16. This has been reposted about 80 or 90 times, and that's just on X. I mean, that's just on Facebook alone. So
okay.
My guess is if you count all the reposts, it's probably been watched by at least 100,000 people.
But I'm sorry, from my point of view, it's such a minor petty incident.
Well, here's the thing. I thought about it. It's not. You know what? Grabbing my phone is kind of a minor petty incident. And here's my thought. What bothers me most is what he said to me, though.
If you were all right.
No, he brought up John Flynn.
That's almost like inside baseball. Who knows about writing?
He brought up John Flynn.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't want to be John Flynn. He says, no, you don't want to be John Flynn. And then he says, you could do whiting.
Okay. Again.
That bothered me. And so here's the thing, though. I thought it over.
No.
I'm not going to do anything to pursue charges or anything like that. And the reason why is this. Like, it's what you said. What happened was relatively minor. As a matter of fact, I've had people do much worse things to me than that in my past, in terms of assault or whatever. And I never pressed charges on them.
Yes.
So therefore, principally, if I were to press charges on Ben, would I then not be doing it for an ulterior motive? Because I don't like Ben, because I don't like his policies, because I want to hurt Ben politically. That wouldn't be the reason to press charges on him, in my opinion, morally speaking.
Okay.
So that's why I've decided not to do it.
All right. I have a slightly different take to offer.
Okay.
Somewhere Eric was giving me some tips on how to create a deep fake video.
How to create a fake video?
What?
How to do what? How to create a fake video?
Deep fake AI video.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, a meme.
Right.
Yep.
Well, no, a meme is not, in my mind, a meme is a static image.
Okay.
So in this case, though,
an AI generated video, a fake video. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, so you didn't let me complete the thought.
I'm listening.
An AI deep fake video of Ben Proto.
What would that do?
Well, what you would do, you could take the video that you have,
the real video, yeah,
convert that into a deep fake. All right. But it takes somebody with skill who would then, shall we say, start to fill in some blanks associated with this video. So the way I would be setting it up as a way of mocking Ben is that let's say there's a clock, all right?
Yeah.
0 seconds to 10 seconds. All right.
Okay.
So you catch Ben from second number 7 to 10.
Okay.
All right. But What happened from 0 to 7?
Okay.
Okay. And we could be putting all kinds of words in his mouth with this deep fake. Okay.
I see.
And then when people hear what you almost caught with your camera, then they're going to understand why he tried to shut you down.
I see.
Okay. So you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, I do. Of course, we have to announce this is an AI generated video, and
of course, but we're having fun with it. We're having fun. Okay,
we're having fun with it, right? I like that.
Ben, we don't trust you, and here's why.
And that's what it gets down to, where we are finally making some inroads on some people that are experts in this kind of area that can help.
Yes, but nonetheless, so the other troubling part, I don't know if you heard, is that the Republican National Committee has, in effect, I'm not sure if this is entirely accurate, but has in effect hired Ben to be some
Their
kind
national financial chairman. Yeah, I know. Their budgetary committee chairman. This was months ago.
And this guy sucks at fundraising. What are they doing? I don't get it.
So what's this guy John Gruden all about? Is he the real deal, or is he just a Ben Proto on the national level?
Who?
The Republican chair. John Gruden is his name?
Or Reuters. I want to think that he's the real deal. You know, he's the, or at least for what it's worth, he's the one that came out and announced the 132 lawsuits in 28 states concerning election integrity.
Okay. Well, yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right.
He must not know about Ben then.
What?
He must not really know who Ben is then.
That's entirely possible. Oh, yeah. Well, in this text, people have to start calling him up and complaining.
Yeah.
Dummy, you're hiring a mole. Okay, you're hiring somebody who, when nobody's looking, is working for the communists.
Yeah, that's right. To run the party's finances for the country.
It's insane.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
that's a head scratcher.
It is.
How can somebody who's the chair be that unaware, or he's got people around him that are putting crap into it? I know Todd Heft will tell you. People from the Virgin Islands, a lot of people tell you the RNC on the national level has a lot of moles in it. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yes. That's how these people operate. They're snakes.
It's exactly how they operate. So so let me just restate again. I have to ask Selena again. Okay, I mentioned this to you about the allegation, right, for Ben Proto.
Yep.
But I didn't hear anything from Selena about it, because what I saw, all right, on my phone was a frame, which was a video clip, and you can see Selena on the right and somebody on the left. Okay, and then there was text above it making the allegation. So I'm saying, well, wait a second, this allegation must have something to do with somebody Selena was talking to. So I'm still trying to find out what the story is.
Well, you'll have to clarify that with her, I guess, for sure.
I'm trying to.
She'll tell you.
I still haven't gotten a good. I'll just have to give her a direct call.
Give her a direct call. That's how it gets done. That's how we get shit done.
That's right. So
okay, I think I'm ready to wrap it up. You got anything you want to finish up with real quick?
You want to talk about the Red Sox?
Yo, the Red Sox. Don't tell me what happened tonight, first of all. I got that on DVR. I'll be watching that over my dinner later.
Yeah, well, it can't be good.
No, I don't know. It was 2-1. They were leading in the fourth inning last I knew.
Who are they playing?
The Royals. They won yesterday,
too.
The
Royals aren't doing very well.
They're playing about 500 balls since the manager got fired.
Okay.
Which means the jury's out. Whether I still think it was the right move. And I think that right now they got an interim manager in there now that may not be doing a heck of a lot and trying to hold his butt together. He was their AAA minor league manager. They called him and they brought him in. So I think the next step is honestly bringing a good ringer manager, a good experienced ringer manager, knows how to run a team. The Red Sox, my guess is the Red Sox are being governed with their former manager and now by this left-wing mentality of no rules. These guys are professionals. Just do the best you can. We all get a trophy anyway. That's the kind of overall attitude that kind of happens. No, in baseball you don't all get a trophy, but the point is, I think there's a little bit of there needs to be a little more discipline on in terms of the management of the team.
Okay, I just I just don't get the set. All right, so they made this move. And now it's almost like a waiting period, right? You're just trying to see what gels, what takes shape here that says we do the right thing.
Yeah, they've definitely been playing better since he left. They were way under 500. So they've kind of, I feel like they've stabilized it.
Well, this is what was.
They haven't won more than, I believe, 3 games in a row all year, which isn't really impressive.
Okay, well, this is what's been happening with the Mets, right? They were down, and now they're chipping their way back to 500 ball as well.
The difference is the Mets have an incredibly powerful, talented roster where they're paying their payrolls twice that of the Red Sox.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, it means a little, but it doesn't mean a lot. No, at the end, it does not mean a lot.
No. So, but speaking of payrolls, now I get to bitch about Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Okay, tell me about Aaron Rodgers.
He signed on for his last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
For how much? 15 million or 35 million?
Close, 25 or 28 million.
That's a bargain these days.
Yeah. Okay. Some has been.
No. That's a big salary.
Won't be like that. It has been a Super Bowl quarterback. Okay. Let me think about that one.
Didn't he win? What do you win? 1 Super Bowl? I think he won 1 Super Bowl.
One. It's still, that's still a lot more than a lot of other quarterbacks.
Oh, true.
Nonetheless,
I haven't won any.
I don't know how much you've been following Aaron, but he's the last 2 seasons he's been
pretty bad. Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, it's about it's about selling products, about image, about the shirts and the uniforms and whatnot they sell. That's part of what that's about.
Fine. If that's their economics, okay.
If that's how the Steelers are thinking, I don't think we have to worry about them in the
so
playoffs.
You don't care about Pittsburgh fans
about winning anymore. It's about image.
Wailing and gnashing their teeth and tearing their hair out and putting on paper bags over their heads.
I may never have won a Super Bowl, but you know what? I did attend a Super Bowl in person.
What was that one?
Super Bowl 30, Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
And the Cowboys, it was the last championship that Barry Switzer won with the Cowboys after riding the coattails of Jimmy Johnson's empire he built.
Uh-huh.
And I was kind of a closet Cowboy fan because I liked them first when I was a boy.
Yep.
And I ended up getting an opportunity to buy a ticket for the face value of the ticket, which was $200.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy called me. It was a security guy I used to work with. He called me. He was an older guy, and he says, "Hey, I got tickets to the Super Bowl if you want to fly out there and we can party it up and get the ticket." And I was only 26, so I was like, I don't have that kind of money. I said, but if you give me the ticket, I'll buy the ticket for me and I'll see you at the game.
All right.
He said, okay, great. So I took my brother, got him on the car. We rented a car.
Mm-hmm.
We left on a Wednesday evening, I believe, and we drove straight from Connecticut to New Orleans,
mm-hmm.
and then straight across Route 10 all the way to Tempe, Arizona for the Super Bowl. And let me tell you something. By the time I got to the game, by the time I pulled into Tempe, Arizona,
yes,
I had almost forgotten why I was there.
Because
the trip across the country was so wild.
Yes, okay.
You spent a day in New Orleans on the Bourbon Street, and I'm not going to get into it. It was one of the best weeks I've ever had, though.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cowboys won at the end of the day.
All right, that counts.
And driving home was a nightmare.
Yeah,
we were almost out of money and out of time, and it was a rough ride home. But yeah, I did go to a Super Bowl. And if anybody doesn't believe me, I have the ticket stub.
Okay. All right. So
I believe you. You got anything else in your mind before we check out?
I just want to rack my brains and make sure. So we've talked about politics. Didn't really talk about we did talk about gas prices a little bit. I just, the feeling I get for this week, I'm just going to say it's like, it's not a good feeling I'm getting. So I just feel like some bad things are going to happen.
One thing I'll say is if the gas price, right now the gas prices are almost as high as I've ever seen. They're within just about 5 or 10 cents of the highest I've ever seen. And for some reason, that's a very tough tipping scale politically. If we start seeing $5, $50, $6 a gallon or something, that's unprecedented in Connecticut, and that would be around the country. That would be a problem politically, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm ready to check out. I gotta eat and get to sleep.
Right. So. We got more stuff tomorrow.
We got more stuff tomorrow. We should talk about AI again soon too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, our kings and queens. So for everybody, we're gonna say good night. Good night to everybody on Common Sense News Entertainment, Yankee T News.
Yankee T News.
Until tomorrow night.